Namaste. Welcome to Aakanksha Desire for Wellness. Today, social media is flooded with immunity boosting recipes, immunity boosting exercises. So, what exactly is immunity and how we can improve our immunity and what homeopath has to offer during this pandemic? All these questions will be answered by Dr. Sameer Jindal. Dr. Sameer Jindal is a homeopath and a researcher with 18 years of experience. So, over to you, Dr. Sameer Jindal.
Okay, so talking about immunity is basically the defense mechanism of our body. It is the resistance power of our body to fight with infections. So to give you an example, if 10 people go and have outside food and suppose the food is stale, so not everyone comes up with a diarrhea. If some of them may come up with a severe loose motions, some of them may have slight stomach cramps, and most of them may not show any symptoms at all. So why after having the same contaminated food, everyone is showing a different symptom or no symptoms at all? So the answer is immunity. The people with good immunity will not show up any symptoms because their defense is so strong that whatever bacteria is invading the body, they have that defense to kill the bacteria and annihilate it from the body. But the people with weak immune system or low immunity, they will not be able to kill the bacteria, and so the bacteria will start its destruction in the body. And so to get rid of the bacteria, then body will start with the loose motion, so that is there is a flushing and the bacteria goes out of the body. So how do we classify immunity as two types of immunity? One is the innate immunity, that is your basic programming of your body, which we are born with to fight the infections. And second is the adaptive or the acquired form of immunity, which our body is programmed later on. So what is innate immunity is, as we saw the case of diarrhea, so there is an invasion in our body with a particular bacteria or virus. So our body, what it does, the defense mechanism starts to play into action. First, it will identify the bacteria and then it will form a defense for that bacteria. It will start to form antibodies against that antigen. So whatever invades our body, we call as antigen. It can be a parasite, bacteria, viral, whatever. So that antibody will go and attach to the antigen and kill the antigen and slowly annihilate it from the body. So this is called the innate immunity. Second, as you can see on the whiteboard, the acquired or the adaptive immunity, as the name suggests, it is not inborn and it is acquired by us over a period of time. And then how do we acquire this immunity? It can be a natural form or an artificial way. So natural way of acquiring immunity is basically what happens is when you are infected by any antigen, the defense is formed against that antigen and the antibodies that are made will go and attack the antigen. And same antibodies will be stored in the memory of our defense mechanism, so that in case in future whenever there is an attack from a same or similar kind of antigen, immediately the defense mechanism can recall from the memory, okay, this type of infection was there such and such time back and we already have antibodies prepared for it. So immediately those antibodies will come into play and the time of action will be very much less as we already have the backup of antibodies. So this is how the acquired immunity works. That is, once you are infected by an infection, you have the immunity for that infection in future. Say for example, chickenpox. You might have heard a person suffering from chickenpox, there are very less chances that he may again suffer from chickenpox because already there is an antibody which is acquired by him in the first infection. If at all he suffers second time, the second infection will be much milder. Now talking about the second type of acquired, which is artificial. The artificial form of immunity is by the way of vaccination. What is vaccination? So vaccination is the body is injected with a virus or a bacteria, that is with an antigen. And when an antigen is injected in the body will prepare defense for it, and it will store that defense, the antibodies, in the memory. Now you may be wondering, is it not dangerous to inject antigen into the body? So yes, the antigens which are injected in the bodies are either dead antigen or they are live attenuated antigen. That means all the powers of those antigen are being removed and only the physical bodily structure, biological structure of the antigen remains, which the body identifies and prepares the antibodies for it. So this is how a vaccine works, right? And there vaccines can be this, what we talked about is the injection of antigen is a form of active immunization, wherein the body is playing an active role and forming antibodies against the infection. There is one more form of immunization which is called as the passive immunization, where the body is not playing an active role. So what happens in passive immunization is, if a person is already infected with some infection and there is no time for active immunization, so we take the plasma or serum from a person who has already been infected with such an infection and who already has antibodies for that present. So those antibodies are then injected into the person who is infected with the infection, so that the antibodies can kill the antigen and the person can be healthy. So this is basically how vaccines are prepared, whether it is active or passive. And in active we have live and we have dead vaccines. So now if we talk about the current situation of pandemic, the SARS-CoV-2 virus which is causing COVID-19 disease. So this is a viral infection and we need to improve our immunity against it. So as we know, this is a new virus, so there is no acquired immunity for it. There have been work going on across the globe for preparation of vaccines, but still it is under trial. So what we can do is we can improve our innate immunity. And how do we improve our innate immunity? Only a healthy body and a healthy mind can have a good immunity. So now we are in a period of lockdown. We have ample of time for ourselves and our body, and ample of time to improve our immunity. So how do we do it? So to improve our immunity, one thing we need is adequate rest, because the body heals itself and repairs itself when you are resting. So at least 7 to 8 hours of sleep is must. Second thing, which is most important, is a balanced diet. You should have a wholesome, balanced diet. Of course, Mrs. Bhavani Swaminathan will guide you for that, and she is already, I think she has posted many videos regarding what to eat and what not to eat and what is healthy for your body. Also, you should include some things which have a high antioxidant value. Of course, whatever we use in our kitchen as herbs and spices, most of them have a very high antioxidant value, like the curcumin or ginger, garlic. All these have a very high antioxidant value. The turmeric which we use, it has a substance called curcumin, which have a very high antioxidant as well as antibiotic value. So the third thing is regular exercises. A healthy body with a good circulation, it helps to maintain a good immunity. Also, if you are into regular exercising, it helps you to release feel-good hormones from the brain. And it is needless to say, a body which is healthy and happy will definitely have a better immunity. So exercise regularly. And the main thing is, as we know that this virus is attacking our respiratory system, and respiratory system is all responsible for the oxygenation of our body. So we should regularly do pranayam. Pranayam increases the oxygenation of our body and helps us to be healthy. And last but not the least, meditation. Meditation is must. Anything which makes you anxious or fearful will decrease the feel good hormones in our body, and it will have an impact on your immunity. Meditation helps you to calm down your anxieties and makes you happy. Also, it will help you to release feel good hormones like serotonin, dopamine, which in turn will have a very good effect on immunity.